Crocheter, and I hope you guys are doing well tonight. I'm going to give it a few to let people come in. Um, Tonight, I'm just going to work on a couple of things while I wait for you guys to come in. And then I have, as promised, a very long list of people to tell you about. These are my shout out to panels. But tonight, first, I'm going to be working on some. I just got done doing dishes, so I'm going to do some dishcloths. And this dishcloth actually came from a pattern by Vanna White. Ooh, I'm sorry to bug. It says Vanna's Afghan and Crochet Favorites, and it's a big notebook. And in it, they have these leaflets. And this page has one, two, three different dishcloths. So I'm making one of them while I wait for you guys to come in. I know it's Friday, and it is definitely a Friday. Yay! Because we all made it. We all made it to Friday. We finally made it to Friday. And like I said, I'm waiting for people to come in so I can tell you all about the panel. It's a really simple. They're really simple dishcloths, and mostly like a 1 row repeat or 2 row repeat. You start using an H hook or a 5 H8 5mm, and you start with a chain of 62, and you're also doing a lot of chains, but you're also working in like the back loop, so that's what gives it the effect on here, the little bumpier effect. But I'm going to wait for some of you to come in because this morning, if you watch my devotions this morning, I shared that I'm going to be giving, and I kind of gave you a glance at what it's going to look like because I showed you the pages for the panels that I'm going to be talking about. So you guys are going to need to get your picture pages out, get your pencils and your crayons and your pens and pencils and your notebooks and your pieces of paper because it's a long list of people. Ooh, I got 13 people already, 11. But I have a lot of people that on YouTube that usually like to do panels where they have at least one person or several people in their live as a panel, and then of course there's always people in the chat. And so I'm going to give you a rundown of, and I went to the people that I subscribe to and the people that subscribe to me. And if I miss anybody, I do deeply apologize. If I put you guys in the wrong category, I also apologize. So, with that, I want all of you to go get your picture pages and go get your notebooks, your notebook paper, and so you get ready, set, go, because there's going to be a lot. I hope you guys have had a really good week. Hope you had a fantastic Friday, and that you guys are going to hope you guys are going to have a super Saturday, a blessed Sunday, and just a wonderful weekend all the way around. But I'm telling you, oh, fortunate dude, hi, hi. Um, Don't go. Oh, I'm not going anywhere right now. I'm just getting started, just getting warmed up. If you saw my devotions this morning, I was showing you my list of shout out panels, which are people on YouTube who have panels on their lives, whether it's just one person with them or they might have several people with them on a panel, as well as, you'll see people in the chat, but I'm talking about people who have a panel. And I have those that I watch. Everybody go get your pencils and paper and notebook paper and markers, whatever you use to write with and whatever you want to use to write on. Got a rundown for you. Okay, my first three. I got 21 people. Please give me all the likes, comments, give me a thumbs up, everybody. And thank you, Tiffany. Hey, Princess. Hello to everybody. I put together 30 people in 11 categories. I have first three are for the shout out panels. I have 2 pages here. Is Mr. YarnDoll and Don YarnDoll and Heart of Orion Jewelry. Now, Don YarnDoll, she is the most sweetest person you will ever meet. She wears her heart on her sleeve. And Mr. YarnDoll is really cool. The two of them together are just so wonderful. And Heart of Orion Jewelry, he makes the most wonderful bracelets, all kinds. He makes earrings, but the bracelet, but the stuff that he makes, the jewelry that he makes, are hypoallergenic, so you're not going to be like allergic to anything. And then this next category is 2 people, which is the Spoony Stitcher and Critters Crochet. Those 2 ladies are very, very wonderful, wonderful people. Hello to everybody that's in the chat. Give me thummies. The Spoony Stitcher and Critters Crochet are so fun. Spoony Stitcher, she usually makes amigurumi, but she does make other things too. And the Spoony Stitcher and Critters Crochet just got 2,000 subscribers, and she made a blanket that she gave to a winner in a drawing, and then she also gave some other goodies away in a drawing, because she had hit 2,000. We had a Pinkapalooza party, and it was so much fun. It was the 2 of them get together, hilarity ensues, and they usually are, anytime they're having a live, it's usually on both of their YouTube channels together, and they're usually doing all kinds of different collaborations together. And the next 2 people are Lori Stories and Crochet and Camille's Creations. These are all shout outs, folks. Lori Stories and Crochet. Lately, she has been giving out shout outs to people that are in the Decade Divas. And you need to go see her. She is so awesome. She's a teacher, but she also does crocheting. She also is a high school teacher, and she's a mom and a grandma. She is so wonderful. And then Camille's Creations. Usually the 2 of them are on each other's lives a lot, but sometimes Camille does lives by herself. And you usually see her crocheting something, and sometimes you hear her husband in the background. But when the 2 of them get together, they're a lot of fun also. They laugh a lot. They have a good time together. Um, Now, this next set of shout outs, there are four people that I put together. And they are Carrie the Yarny Elephant, Mindfully Crocheted, Froggy Winna Knitting, and My Crochet Story. These four are usually on each other's lives, like all in and out all the time. And Carrie, oh my goodness, her big thing is doilies. She will make blankets, but her big thing is doilies, and she is the most fabulous person that makes doilies. The most fabulous person to make doilies. Mindfully Crochet, on her lives, when she just goes by live by herself, she tends to make play games with you on her lives, and they're so fun. Oh, also on Carrie, the Yarny Elephant, on her lives, when she her live, each of these, Carrie, Mindfully Crochet, and Froggy, and My Crochet Story, their lives are usually about an hour. And Carrie, about halfway through, she'll stop and do a devotion. And Froggy went a knitting. She's something else. She's funny. She's blind, but she can crochet like nobody's business. She is super, super good at crocheting. And she's a lot of fun. And My Crochet Story, she's usually but sometimes she's on, does her own live, and sometimes she does it with Carrie or Froggy with a knitting. And like halfway through her life, she will also do a devotion. And sometimes just on her channel alone, she'll have a devotion set aside as part of her channel. Um, and then this next set has one, two, three, four, five people in this next category, and I call these guys the Boggy Creek edition, because we got Creations by Jax, Charmed Grammy Crochet, Nina's Knots Crochet, Juan the Yarn Addict, and She's Got Yarn too, because they're the Boggy Brigade. Boggy Creek is a camp in Eustis, Florida, that is for kids who have various health issues and various health problems, and I'm not like serious health problems. And so the kids can be a kid and just have fun, and people are making blankets. And these guys are the ones that are collecting blankets, want people to make blankets, and all the blankets are going to Nancy over at She's Got Yarn too, and it's a two, and all the blankets are going to her, and then she takes them over there to Eustis, Florida, because she lives down in Florida. Um, but sometimes they will show the lives on the other people's channels. They'll go to Jaxie's on Creations by Jax, or to Charmed Grammy, or Nina's Knots Crochet, and Juan the Yarn Addict. Each of these people, in their own right, in their own channels, they have such a good time. Hey, there's Susan! Hey, Susan! I was just going through, if you heard my devotion this morning, I was going through my list of people that have panels on their lives, and everything about each of these people. There's 30 people in like 11 categories. Okay, my next set. And wait, if you missed any, you just go watch the replay, because there's a lot here. My next two, and I'm saying Creations by Jax again, and Mama Swift, because right now they are doing panels together on each other's live, because they are making these blankets that are to help with the Boggy Creek people, and okay, I had it in my head. I just lost it. These are special blankets. Luck of the draw. There it is. Luck of the draw. I had to think about it, and it is where they take a container or a jar where it has all these numbers in it, and it really is luck of the draw. And you start with like I think it's like 6 colors and then a main color. And whatever color that is, that's the next color for that row. And then the next row is like a row of the main color and so forth. And each year has been a different pattern for that particular blanket. But Jaxie, she's such a hoot. She's so much fun, and so is Mama Swift. And the two of them are so cool. They're so nice. Um, but Creations by Jax is also with the Boggy Creek ones because they have whenever they do a live, they always go to each person's house each week. But Nancy's the one who lives down in Florida, and all the blankets are going to her this year. Last year, won the Yarn Addict, and she's got yarn. They were splitting them up and sending them to both because he was going to make a trip down to Florida, and everybody meets. Like they start having the blankets sent to. I think it was last month they started in September, like August or September, and then they go to around the beginning of next year, and then next summer they take them all down. They take them. I know sometime next year. Then they send them. They pack them all up and send them all down to Eustis, Florida, to give them out and put them in all the cabins there at the camp. And they can't that Boggy Creek camp, and it's a very wonderful camp for kids that have all kinds of medical problems and medical issues. And it's completely free for the campers and the parents, and each week is for a particular illness. And so the kids get to see, oh, there's other kids, that are like me, and then just have chances to be a kid, which is so cool. Um, my next little set has one, two, three. These three people, they're usually in lives together on a panel, and they are Rosalie's Crafts and More, Michelle. I don't know how she pronounced her name because I just call her Michelle Schleiper, Schleiper. And then there's Knit, Pearl, and Squirrel with Granny D. Granny D is she is a sweet little old lady, and she is just a spitfire, and she's so much fun. Um, and Rosalie's Craft, she does a lot of really nice crafts. She does crochets. Michelle crochets a lot. They're also really fun. Sometimes they might have somebody else on their panel, and they ask other people to come up on their panel if they want to, and she'll put in, the she'll put a thing in her live so that you can go to it. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, thank you. Um, and this next little set is Ivy B Creates, Jen Reeves, and Frizzy B Crochet. And I don't want to get this wrong, but it's either Ivy B or it's Frizzy B. One of those two just um, just started a kids book. Yeah, she has a line of kids books that she wrote. But they're all three of them are really fun, and they always talk about crochet, and sometimes they talk about other crafts too. But they're so fun to watch. They're a lot of fun to watch. Okay, these next two are so flippin' funny. So flippin' funny. Mad Mimi's Crochet and Farming, and the she just changed her name to the Sassy Alaskan Crafter, and she has Jan in parentheses. Her name is Jan. Mad Mimi's Crochet and Farming. The two of them, just when they get together on anybody's live, is enough. The two of them together, I mean, they're just like a couple of elementary age kids just playing and messing around and having fun, and hilarity ensues. Lots of hilarity ensues. Mad Mimi's, she tends to, just on her channel alone, um, she likes bag o' day. She makes bag o' day hats. And sometimes she does. I'm not sure what time of the year it is, but I know she used to do have people make these eggs, crochet these eggs and send them to her, and there'd be something on the inside of the egg. And she would pretend to bake the egg underneath a light, like you would like a chicken's eggs, you know. And oh, they also usually hang out. Last few years, I'm sorry doing it this year. I haven't watched in a while, but every year they have this contest where it's those two against other creators and subscribers, and they pick out a. And there's a project that they all have to do, and they have to use certain. And they're told by the peers certain. Hey, Shatika Woods! They're my buddy. Shatika Woods, she tends to give me a lot of scriptures that remind her of the stuff, things that she hears when I'm reading the devotions, and I really do appreciate those. And I'm so far behind on getting those written down. I do have a notebook, and I've shared that before. And I always appreciate her. She always gives me so many uplifting comments. I appreciate that. Oh, Mad Mary's Crochet and Farming and the Sassy Alaskan Crafter, Jan. Jan is also a lot of fun. She used to be just the Alaskan Crafter Jan, and then she changed it to the Sassy Alaskan Crafter Jan because she is rather sassy. But when the two of them get together, they're so much fun. I am doing a shout out to panels because I'm just realizing lately that a lot of people when they have their on their channels they have a live, a lot of times they have a panel where they have at least one other person, or they might have several people on their panel, and then as well as people down here in the chat, but they will have a panel up here. And I realized there's like a lot of people that have panels, and so I just kind of thought I would do a shout out to everybody. And as many people as I could write down that I thought of, I have 30 people that I listed in like 11 categories. I've already done everybody on this list, so you'll have to go back and watch the replay. But I might go back and read some of these. Okay, next one, next little group. There's only two. Little Treasures by Nancy and Be Creative Crafts. Little Treasures by Nancy. Well, the two of them, they actually tend to be on each other's lives. But Little Treasures by Nancy, she does she crochets, she makes miniatures, she does that diamond art paintings, and I really like her. She's really cool. And then Be Creative Crafts, she's also a lot of fun. She also crochets and miniatures and paints and diamond art paintings, and a lot of times on her channel, on her lives, she would ask you like a Jeopardy question for you to answer. I mean, she does it for fun. It's not for like a prize or anything. It's just for fun. She'll ask a Jeopardy question, which I think is fun. I think that's cool. It's that thing that Little Treasures by Nancy and Be Creative Crafts. A lot of times they'll do what I call a two-camera thing. Like there'll be one camera on them, and then the other camera will be over their hands, so you can see what they're making. And then sometimes it's just one camera on the hands or one camera on themselves. But sometimes they will do two cameras. Like I know Little Treasures by Nancy does that a lot. She'll have one on herself and one on her hands. And I just think that's really, really cool. Yeah, Billy the Crafty Floridian. Yeah, I forgot about her. Yeah, she's another one that sometimes shows up in the lives with Creations by Jax, Charmed Grammy, Nina's Knots Crochet, Von the Yarn Addict, and she's got yarn too. In fact, she helped out a couple of years ago, and she was the one who helped tally up all the blankets to see how many is there, how many they've collected. In the last couple of years, they've had a goal. Like they set a goal how many they want to collect, and they've always been past that goal. But this year they were like, just in, and we don't care how many, we just want them. And I don't, I wasn't able to stick around long enough to see how many they had last night. But they usually do a live for the Boggy Creek every Wednesday. Yeah, every Wednesday at I think it's around 8 o'clock or so. Um, they do a live, and Nancy shows all the blankets that she received in the mail, and she gets a lot from people. And some of these people are just crocheting machines because they will you see the same person's name heard like 50 times. I mean, it's I'm not kidding you. They're sending every day, every time, every week. They send like a dozen blankets. It's like they're a crocheting machine. How do they find all this time to make all these blankets? I don't know. I know some of them get started prior the year before they start getting them, but still, they keep making them. Like, how do you have time to make all that? You must have lots of time on your hands. Anyway, then my last group, they're not really on each other's ones, but just because they have panels. Matt the Rockin' Crocheter, and I'm not sure who else he has on there, but I know he has somebody else. I think it might be like his wife or something. Um, it may be in case she's somebody else. But he's like a newer person that's been out there lately, and he's pretty cool. And then another one is Hooks, Whips, and Chains. Um, and they have a lot of people on their panel usually. Sometimes they talk about crochet. Sometimes they just talk about life in general. Um, but they're cool. But they're cool too. Um, but yeah, there's 30 people in 11 categories. That's a lot of different, and I know I'm probably missing some people. And if I'm missing people, I really, really apologize. Um, but there are just so many people that when they have lives, they also tend to have a panel on whatever live stream that they use, whether it's Restream or whatever stream they decide to use, StreamYard. That they bring people up on a panel, and they have they'll have either one person or they'll have a bunch of people, and which I think is fun. It's really, really cool when they do that. Um, but I wanted to give a shout out to all the people. I'm going to go through this list really quickly again. I wasn't going to, but I'm going to. Shout out panels. My first set, Mr. and Mrs. YarnDoll. We got Mr. YarnDoll and Don the YarnDoll. Don is a real sweetheart of a person. You really should watch her. And Heart of Orion Jewelry. He makes fabulous jewelry. And they're usually hypoallergenic. But he makes gorgeous jewelry. Gorgeous jewelry. A lot of times, another thing that Dawn the YarnDoll, besides having heart on her sleeve, she just really is. She's such a sweetheart. She's so fun. If you know what Hobby, I think it's Hobby Yarn. They also every once in a while will have Hobby Bingo, and on Dawn the YarnDoll's channel, they'll have the Hobby Bingo on her channel. So you get to watch. You'll see that. Okay, and then Spoonie Stitcher and Critters Crochet. Anytime the two of them together, they're usually live on each of their channels, and they'll have a live together, so you can watch the whole live on either channel. And hilarity always ensues. They usually crack each other up all the time. Critters Crochet just reached 2,000 subscribers, and she's over 2,000 now. And we just did a Pinkapalooza party the other night, and she did a couple of giveaways. But she likes to make clothing a lot, favorite color pink. And then Spoonie Stitcher, she usually makes amigurumis. She will make other things, but she tends to make amigurumis. And she will tell you whether a product is good or bad, and she will tell you about all the different So it's about the affiliates that she's with or would like to be an affiliate with. Um, she she is just a really sweetheart. She's a really fun person to really watch. Now she looks in her videos, she looks young, but she will tell you in her videos she's a lot older than what she looks. She she tells you that all the time, and she explains to you what a spoony person is. Her videos are just so fun to watch, and Critters Crochet is a lot of fun too, especially when the two of them get together. It's so fun. Um, Lori, and the next section is Lori Stories and Crochet and Camille's Creations. Okay, back to Spoonie Stitcher and Critters Crochet. They're doing Decade Divas right now. And lately, Lori Stories and Crochet has been giving shout outs to those who are in Decade Divas this year. And which is amazing because that helped her out a whole lot, helped Spoonie Stitcher, Shannon a whole hell of a lot. But Lori Stories and Crochet has been giving a lot of shout outs lately to other channels that are in the Decade Divas to help. So these channels can help grow, especially the little channels like me can help grow. Um, and Camille's Creations, she's fun too. Um, and she has this wonderful southern drawl because she's from Texas. And a lot of times when she's on her live by herself, she'll be crocheting and you see her hands crocheting, and she'll stop for a while. She literally will stop her stuff down, and she'll take a quick little walk, come back. Um, but she laughs all the time. Oh, she likes to do. She also likes to do diamond painting. Sometimes she'll do diamond painting on another channel, or sometimes even on her own channel. But Lori Stories and Crochet and Camille's, a lot of times they're on each other's channels to do lives. This next set is a set of four. Carry the Yarny Elephant, Mindfully Crochet, Froggy Win and Knitting, and My Crochet Story. They're usually on in the morning, and these four are. Sometimes Froggy Win and Knitting will be in the evening, but usually these four are on in the morning. Mindfully Crochet, I know she has a lot of times when she's done her own live by herself. It's usually in the evening, like on the weekend. But Carry the Yarny Elephant makes the best doilies you've ever seen. It doesn't matter whether they're armchair size or they're huge. She also makes wonderful blankets. She does giveaways. Mindfully Crochet. A lot of times she likes to play games on her lives. She's a really nice sweetheart. Kind of soft spoken, but she's really nice. Froggy Win and Knitting is funny. Funny as all get out. And she crochets, and she's blind, and she crochets. That is so cool. My Crochet Story. She's another really nice sweetheart too. Another Southern gal. And on Carry the Yarny Elephant. When they each do their lives, especially they tend to do it like for an hour, and like Carrie, she will stop halfway through and do a devotion. My Crochet Story does the same thing. Um, she will stop halfway through, do a devotion. On her channel by itself, she'll do separate videos for the devotions on her channel. Um, and then this next slot, Billy the Crafty Floridian. She's funny just by herself. She does a lot of things. She crochets, she sews, um, she knits. Like she's made these damn dolls, and she makes bags for you to put like your whips, your project bags in, and she crochets. She's so fun. Uh, Creations by Jax, Charmed Grandma Crochet, Nina's Knots Crochet, One the Yarn Addict, and She's Got Yarn too. Um, they usually do the Boggy Creek every week and they'll go to each other's channels to show the blankets off. But this year, and I'm not sure if Billy's part of that, but I know the others are. They go on each other's channels, but all the blankets are being sent this year to Nancy. She's Got Yarn too, and the two is two. Um, and One the Yarn Addict, he's only been here like a year or two, but his channel got huge really fast. He got when he got on the ground, he went to the ground. Hi, Tony. when he stepped on the ground, he went to the yarn. He went to the ground running, and he just became. His Bonnie Yarn Addict's channel blew up really, really fast. Um, but Creations by Jax and Charmed Grammy and Nina's Knots, one Yarn Addict, and she's got yarn too. They're all the Boggy Brigade, and they are all helping with having people make blankets and for Boggy Creek in Eustis, Florida. So, my next panel shout out again, Creations by Jax and Mama Swift. Um, and I put her with Mama Swift. Said Creations by Jax again. Creations by Jax. Jaxie is just funny as all get out, and so is Mama Swift. But Jax is so fun. She laughs a lot. She's so fun. But the two of them have been doing, and then I lost it in my head. I lost it. I had it in my head again. I lost it again. Dang it! Think about too much stuff at the same time. Luck of the draw. There it is again. There. See, it did it to me again. Luck of the draw. And whatever number that they pull out, that's the color. And whatever number that correlates with your color, that's the color you will use on your next round on your blanket. And then the next round is like your main color. So you have like, I think it's like 8 total colors, 7 colors, something like that, and the main color anyway. And they explain all that in their videos and how big the blanket should be for Boggy Creek, and every year they put and make a different pattern for the luck of the draw. I think they're up to luck of the draw like 11 or 12 or something. I mean, they've been doing luck of the draw. They've had different every year. It's somebody else doing it, but every luck of the draw blankets have been around for like a long time, I guess. These next three are usually on their lives together. Is Rosalie's Crafts and More, Michelle Schleiper, Knit Pearl and Squirrel with Granny D. Those three are usually on each other's lives, and they're also very fun to watch. Especially Granny D. She is such a hoot. She is so funny. Um, He's next to is Mad Mimi's Crochet and Farming, and the Sassy Alaskan Crafter. Excuse me, Jan. And she used to be just called the Alaskan Crafter, but now she's the Sassy Alaskan Crafter, Jan. But the two of them are, my goodness, I just had the burps. I don't know why. Excuse me. Two of them get together. It's so funny. They're such a hoot. They're so funny. But Mad Mimi by herself, she likes to make those um, uh, bod hats, and she will make blankets. And the two of them, they have this contest where the two of them against other content creators and subscribers, and they usually pick up every year. They pick a project. Somebody else picks the color. Somebody picks a project. Somebody else picks the colors, and then they have a contest. It's just a fun contest. It's just for bragging rights, and they see who the winner is at the end. It's like for so many. It's like for like a month or two, and then they see who the winner is. They have everybody judge to see. They have somebody to judge to see who's the winner. Um, but they like to pick on each other. They just like to have fun, and they are so fun to watch. You should go watch them. The next is a group of 3. Ivy B Creates, Jen Reeves, and Frizzy B Crochet. They are also a lot of fun to watch. Um, they are. They just like they crack each other up. They talk about life. They talk about crochet. Um, and I'm terrible, but I can't remember. It's either Ivy B Creates or Frizzy B. One of them has. I think it's Frizzy B. Has books that they've put out for children's books, and I just think that's so wonderful. And they're very, very awesome little books. This next set is a set of 2, and it's Little Treasures by Nancy and Be Creative Crafts. They tend to be on each other's lives, but they each have their own lives by themselves. But sometimes they do a panel with the two of them together. and they like to crochet and paint and do miniatures and do diamond art painting and um, and be creative crafts. Um, she will on her lives by herself. A lot of times, she will end towards the end of her life. She will do a Jeopardy question of the day, and it's just like for fun. Tony, you went riding on a four-wheeler. Oh, that sounds awesome. That sounds fun. I would love to do that one time. I don't know that I'd want to drive one myself because I would be scared to death, but I would like to be right on the back with someone and hold on tight and just like go and let them go because I would be scared to ride a four-wheeler by myself because I've never done that before. That just, but I think that would be fun. And then these last two shout outs go to Matt the Rockin' Crocheter and Hooks, Whips, and Chains. Now, each of these, by their own right, they each have their own. They have other people on their other people, but I'm not sure what all the people that they have on their panels. But I know they have other people on their panels. Um, so I went through my list like 2 or 3 times now. It's a lot of people. Like I said, I counted everybody on my papers. 30 people. That's 30 people that have lives where they have a panel and they're on each other's panels, or they mix it up and have somebody else on. They're just on each other's panels when they have their lives, depending on what day of the week it is. And like I said, there's usually, and then I counted up my categories, and I had 11 categories, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 11. 11 categories. Yeah, wow. Yeah, that's amazing. That is wow, wow, wow. Um, but you know, if I missed anybody, I do really, really apologize. Or if I've got somebody mixed up and put them in the wrong category, again, I apologize. But that's just how I've noticed, certain people usually hang out on certain, panels. Now, I know not everybody knows everybody because there's so many, because, YouTube is just so vast. But I watch a lot of people, and sometimes I can catch all the lives, and sometimes I can't. And a lot of times, while this person or people is going live, these also people are going live, and it's hard to catch everybody at the same time. Um, oh wow, that is pretty new, Tony. Um, This is a really nice one that he bought last year. It only has 10 miles on it. That's pretty new, I would say. Um, but I've never gone on one, so I don't know. But that's my guess. That's really low mileage for a four wheeler. Um, um, also, while I was watching the Pinkapalooza for for Critters Crochet, started making a dishcloth, and this is going to be a really huge dishcloth because this is 62 chains wide, and it's going to be 12 inches tall. This will be a huge dishcloth, folks. But it's made of cotton and with an H hook because that's what the pattern calls for. But it's still really huge. But I like this. It's pretty cool. And I got 2 more to make, but they're of different patterns. I have 3 different patterns. These are actually from Vanna White. Vanna's Afghan and Crochet Favorites. It's a notebook that I have that I bought from a thrift store, and it has all kinds of patterns for all kinds of different categories. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to try to make. I couldn't even get to the dishcloth movie because I was having too much fun watching the Pinkapalooza the other day for Critters Crochet because she reached 2,000 subscribers, and then she was having a big old party. She was having a big old party on her channel, and it was so much fun. I was so happy for her that she reached 2,000 subscribers. She's actually passed the 2,000 subscribers when she did the party, and because with the way YouTube tends to go flutter up and down, sometimes that number changes. Um, but if everybody could just go to those channels and like, comment, share, subscribe to the channels that I mentioned. Go watch them, and if you like them, subscribe to them. Um, go watch these people. Go have fun watching their videos. Watch their lives. When they have their panels, see what all is going on in their panels, and who's doing what, where, who, what, where, when, how, all that kind of good stuff. My channel, I crochet. I've been trying to give tutorials on stitches. I'm way behind on some things. On stitches and the granny cards. I get caught up on the granny cards and the granny. It gets started again on the granny flower deck. Um, I every morning we read devotions. We have the 365 days of kindness, daily guidepost for grandmothers, and the illustrated words of Jesus for women. And this one is really cool in the fact that you can color in it and put your own little stickers in there to add to it. And it will have a place at the bottom that you can put your own, you can write your own thing about the devotion at the bottom. If you're one who likes to color, likes to journal, it's a really cool book to use. And then I always end my devotions with a prayer square. And I read this little prayer. It might be backwards for you, but I read this little prayer. And I know a lot of you really love the devotions. And Shatika Woods always sends me a lot of verses that she reminded me. And I'm telling you all the time, I tell you guys all the time, if you hear my devotions and a verse pops up in your head about it, just leave those in the comments. Because I have started a notebook of the verses that have been written down. And sometimes I stop and read them. I do have some videos on that where you will see a Bible underneath the camera, and I read several verses to you. You guys seem to appreciate that as well. I'll probably have some more projects. I'm actually working on a couple of projects for my own self. Like I said, a dishcloth, and I'm working on a rug using rug yarn. I'm trying to finish up a sweater. Actually, another cardigan. I've already made one cardigan, and I'm trying to finish up another cardigan. I have like too many whips, y'all. Way too many whips. Wow, that's awesome, Tony. That is awesome. I didn't know there still was a Billy Graham station. That's pretty cool. That's pretty awesome. I know who Billy Graham is. He's very him and his family. Yeah, that was like my time period when I was a kid, so I know who that is. Um, oh, Sirius satellite. Well, that makes sense because you can pick up anything anywhere. Thing that was cool. One time, when my family and I were going on a trip to go visit family, I was able to use Sirius satellite in the car that we were renting, and normally when I go on a trip, I'm having I lose my local stations and pick up the next local station as I go from state to state to go visit family and through towns. But when I use that Sirius satellite, I could hear my local station and go visit family 8 hours away, 6 hours away, and 8 hours away, and still hear my local station. I was like, Sirius satellite is awesome. That is the coolest invention. Um, to be able to hear your own. I think we all have too many whips. Yes, I know I do. Oh, something that I'm going to be starting next year, but something I just recently been adding, also every day, has been showing you. Like today is October the 3rd, multiple of 11 stitches plus 3. So yeah, I had this perpetual calendar, and I think next year I'm going to start giving tutorials on how to do these stitches. But for now, I'm just showing you them. Um, I'll give you a little sneaky peek for tomorrow. Tomorrow's is a multiple of 12 stitches plus 4. That looks like a lot of fillet work there, though. But that looks interesting. And some of these might make it like a nice blanket or a scarf or whatever you would like to make. Actually, it does actually have a couple of projects. Yep, there's a cowl, the rectangle shawl. They actually call it a recipe. Instead of a pattern, they call it a recipe. Yeah, rectangle shawl recipe. And then they give the picture of it. A cowl recipe. I love how they call it a recipe. I have how to join motifs, choosing the perfect yarn. You give abbreviations, materials and resources. But this is a really cool perpetual calendar. I think I got this perpetual calendar from Michael's. I think it was. Yeah, I got it from Michael's. Um, what else? Oh, sometimes, and I try to go thrift shopping. And when I go thrift shopping, and if I find yarn, I will always tell you about the yarn. I will always show you the yarn and tell you about it, whether I like the yarn or not, and the name brand if they still have the labels. Um, and because sometimes, since I go to thrift stores, now I will go buy yarn at Walmart, and when Joann's was open, I went to Joann's. Now I can go to Michael's um, or Walmart to buy yarn. Usually I go to Walmart because that's the closest. Um, but I try to buy from thrift stores first. And I don't shop online for anything because these days your ID gets stolen from shopping online. And I know there are things out there to help protect your ID, but bad guys know how to go around that. So I don't trust online shopping at all. Um, so I go and shop in the thrift stores, and sometimes thrift stores have yarn, and sometimes they don't. And sometimes they have yarn that I actually like to use, and sometimes they have yarns that I'm don't really use. Like they might have like the feathery kind of yarns, or they might have the really really thin yarns, like for crocheting doilies. And I'm like, that's too thin. I don't usually use that kind of yarn, and I usually leave it for somebody else to get. Um, little things like that. Um, but when I do get yarn from thrift stores, I will show you that. And sometimes, I know lately, sometimes at Walmart they will have kits. Like it's usually for animals. Sometimes it might be for like a little bag. And then they have little crochet kits at Walmart. Um, Joanne, when it was open, they would have too, as well as yarn. Michael sometimes has kits as well as yarn. Um, Five Below, Five and Below, recently has been having crochet and knit kits. And then also, um, what is that? Aldi. At Aldi. And I haven't done a video on this, and I want to do a video on these soon. I bought these a couple weeks ago. Aldi these had these two kits. This one is a kawaii crochet kit and a cute crochet kit. They're both by Craft Maker Creative Joy. Great Share Love. Guided by a creative expert. This one is supposed to make 3 projects, and this one is supposed to make 2 projects. So I will probably be showing you guys what I think about those 2 kits. That'll be in a future video here soon. Whew. That's a lot of information. I gave you guys a ton of info. But I hope all of you will have a very safe and wonderful weekend. I hope you had a fantastic Friday, and that you have a super Saturday and a very blessed Sunday. This is my weekend to work. We've been having, where I live in the Midwest, we've been having summer like temperatures, and it's October. You're supposed to. I won't complain. I'm not complaining, because I'm glad we don't have snow. Because I am not looking forward to snow. I will take the warm, because actually it's, you wake up, it's cool, and when you go to bed it's cool out, but it's warm in the afternoon. So it's like the warmth is sandwiched between cool air. So we still get some fall temperatures in the morning and in the evening. So there is still some fall temperatures in there. But during the day, it warms up. It's like in the 80s. But at least it's not humid. It is not humid, which is a good thing. Drop my hook. I don't mind warm as long as it's not humid. Oh, you went to get a Santa Claus and Rudolph craft kit? Oh, that is cool. Oh, you know what? Where's that? There it is. I can't remember if I bought it or somebody got this for me. I think I got this at the bookstore. Half-price books, maybe. Or maybe I got this at the bookstore in the mall. Probably the bookstore in the mall. Here's Rudolph. Crochet Rudolph. I do have a Rudolph one. I haven't made that one yet. I do have a Rudolph. And I have a Nutcracker. Along with that Christmas category, I have a Nutcracker. That one was a gift. The Nutcracker was a gift. see. Here. Okay. Barnes and Noble. Yep. The Nutcracker. But it's only, I mean, it says 12 crochet characters from the classic ballet, but it only gives you enough to make only one of them. Not all, just one of them. And I'm betting that it's going to be her. I haven't opened it yet, but I'm betting it's going to be her. I'm kind of hoping that it's going to be him, but I'm betting it's going to be her. I have this stack of kits over here, and I have another stack of kits over here, and I just need to make these kits, and I keep telling myself, make them. Does it give you patterns for all? They usually do in those kind of kits, but they usually only give you enough yarn for what, like the Nutcracker. It shows multiple characters, but it only gives you enough yarn to make one character. But they usually give you the pattern to make the rest, and it's usually made with a really thin yarn, and they usually give you like some of these kits that I have over here. They tend to come with. I have one of them. These little plastic thin hooks. And they're made. I mean, it's made out of a plastic, a really thin, cheap plastic. Because it does usually tend to use, because it's amigurumi, but it's people, like it's dolls, so it's a much thinner yarn. I bet you do. Um, um, but anyway. I mean, it would be cool if they gave you enough yarn for all of them, because then if you used your own yarn, I mean, you use your own yarn to make the projects, but then, your yarn could be a 4-weight yarn, and that's like a 2-weight, so it's like twice as big, and it's like, so unless you bought crochet thread yarn, the really thin yarn, they're not going to all be the same size. You know what I mean? Anyway. Alright, it's been a little over an hour now. I've probably talked your ear off. Thank you, Susan. Thank you to everybody who came. And y'all, watch the replay. Go see these people. Go watch all these people. Decide for yourselves if you want to watch them, but subscribe, like, comment, share, all the goodies, and get to know these people. At least give them a chance. If you don't want to subscribe, fine, but watch a few of their videos. Watch at least one or two of their lives, and give these guys a chance, and go watch them and have fun watching them. You will love them, I promise. Because I know I do. You watch a lot of those people too? Oh, cool, Susan. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. So, y'all have a good day now. And good evening, good weekend. And I'll see y'all the next time. Love y'all. Bye.